guidelines, because this is the types of questions that I get asked on a daily basis. So let me just make it very, very clear quickly. If you have any symptoms, please present yourself for a test. Any symptoms whatsoever. Okay, don't assume that it's just your sinus. Don't assume it's a cold or a flu. Make sure that you have a test. That test will come back one of two things. It will either be positive or negative. If you are negative, I would suggest that you still quarantine. Okay? And if your symptoms deteriorate or change in any way, or you think you may have COVID, even though the initial test was negative, please have another test. That could well be positive. If your initial result comes back as positive, immediately isolate. Okay? In fact, you should isolate yourself the moment you go for a test. The test results are taking over 24 hours now because of the backlog and the huge number of tests that the labs are doing. So in the time that you are waiting for your test result, assume that you are positive and go and isolate yourself until the result comes back. If it's negative, still quarantine. If it's positive, remain in isolation until the 10 days are over. And you count the 10 days from the first day that you took ill, not necessarily the test when the test results come back. Okay? If you do get a message that you have been in contact with somebody who has tested positive, in other words, if you are a positive contact, immediately go into quarantine. You want to limit the spread of the virus, okay? Don't necessarily rush off for a test, especially if it's within 5 days or so of having been exposed to that particular person. You may well test too early. So the safe thing to do is to quarantine and wait on any symptoms. If you do not get any symptoms, still quarantine for at least 10 days. If you become symptomatic, then go for a test. And if that test is positive, you repeat the process of isolation. Let's limit the spread, let's protect one another, and if at all possible, please stay home. Avoid gatherings and avoid public places. Avoid closed spaces. Keep your windows open, and may God be with us and protect us. Amen.